for continued collaboration in law enforcement. Citizens have asked the law enforcement agencies in this community, what are we going to do with crime? I believe that this operation is indicative of the work that is being done. Citizens and residents and visitors deserve to feel safe and be safe in our community, and we will continue in that regard with a strategic plan to continue to fight against crime and dismantle criminal elements in our community. Thank you. At this time, Director Chris Hosey.
Good afternoon. As you've heard already, today's efforts are the culmination of a joint operation between agencies represented here today. It reflects what happens when agencies work together as one team with one mission, and that is protecting the people of Georgia, this community here of Glynn County. This investigation required time, patience, precision, partnership, professionalism, and a tremendous work ethic by all the agencies and their personnel that were involved and represented here today. You've heard of the numerous different types of narcotics that were involved in this investigation, along with multiple other investigative acts that took place that resulted in this having such a tremendous impact on narcotics and violent crime trade in the state of Georgia and here in Glynn County. I want to thank the agents, analysts, and support personnel from all the agencies for their tireless work. Their coordination ensured a safe and successful operation. I especially want to recognize my agents and work units that were involved in this, our Southeast Regional Drug Enforcement Office and our Region 14 Field Office. Both were heavily involved in this investigation, and I appreciate their efforts. For the GBI, our commitment remains simple, is to work together across all levels of law enforcement to protect our communities and state, to uphold the rule of law, and ensure public safety remains as our top priority in this state and in our communities. Thank you.
At this point, we'll take any questions, if anybody has any.
Hi, I'm Glynn. I'm a reporter with First Coast News, and I was wondering how long has this investigation been active?
Initially, it initiated around 2023, so a couple years. It's a long-term investigation.
Hi, Eric Armier from WJC News Channel 4 out of Jacksonville. Did any of these suspects have a Jacksonville connection, or did any of this activity have a Jacksonville connection, considering the fact that it's so close to Southeast Georgia?
Yeah, while none of the subjects arrested or indicted in this investigation reside in Jacksonville, there was several basically traveling to and from Jacksonville to commit some of the crimes that are in the indictment.
And given the fact that I know we're only, just a few hours from Atlanta, the DEA has identified Atlanta as their regional drug hub for the Southeast for both the CJNG cartel and the Sinaloa cartel. I'm wondering, any of these 50-plus people, did any of them have any direct ties or even indirect ties to any of those two, the main cartels?
There are connections to Atlanta, directly not with the cartels.
A couple of points of clarity. How many people in total were arrested? That release we got said 55, but I think you had said 48.
Good question. There's the indictment includes 56. 48 were arrested today. One is still not apprehended, and the other ones were already in custody.
Gotcha. And what are you guys doing in terms of ongoing efforts to capture that one remaining?
We believe that she's going to turn herself in tomorrow.
Additionally, can you give me an idea of how many drugs were seized, and when we're looking at the overall sort of drug operations in this region, how big of a chunk does this represent?
I don't have those numbers in front of me. I know there's some of that information is available in the indictment, which has been released. I just don't have those numbers, and the collection from today's arrest operations, we're still going through all that, so we don't have that available at this time.
I know you don't have the numbers, but are you able to clarify if what you seized, was that considered street level amount, or was that considered wholesale amount?
It's trafficking level amount. There's a significant amount of drugs that were collected as a part of this investigation dating back all the way to 2023.
I guess what I was getting at is, how big of a dent do you think this will put in drug operations in this region? I
mean, anytime you arrest this number of folks and have this long and this wide ranging of an operation, it's going to have an effect. I mean, it's obviously, it talks to the ones that were arrested, but it also shows others that are attempting to commit these crimes that this won't be tolerated. So I think it has a tremendous effect, and it's really just a testament to the work effort done by law enforcement in this area to try to take a big chunk out of the drug trafficking here.
Were all of these suspects, were they all traffickers, dealers, or were some of them affiliated with gang activity?
All the above. All the above.
You mentioned these drugs were coming over directly from China. Was that, through ports, the mail? Do you have any idea of how they were being facilitated between countries?
All that's available in the indictment. So I don't misstate something, I'm gonna just refer to the indictment for that information unless you have something.
Is there any mechanism to go after the suppliers in a foreign country, or?
We're always looking at those kinds of things. That's always our goal. We work enterprise level cases, so we always want to go to the top of the food chain, if you will. So always looking at those as options, yes.
Since this has been an investigation that's been going on for so long, did any part of this overlap with Operation Fentanyl Free America?
This was an independent investigation, but again, there's a lot of coordination, a lot of connectivity between a lot of the operations that happen, not just statewide but countrywide. So while I'm not, to tell you the exact connections to any other specific operation, they all have ties to one another in some way, shape, or form.
What initially sparked this investigation?
Good investigative work by the task force. They saw a need and they went after it, and as you can see by the results, it was a successful decision.
And has there been any impact on overdose rates since 2023, since this started?
I don't have those numbers in front of me. I mean, again, anytime you have this level of a impact, the number of people arrested, you're going to make an impact on your community. There's 55 people arrested today, or in total for this so far. I mean, that's going to make an impact.
So all those arrests were today?
48 were arrested today. The other ones were already in custody, and one is still not arrested, but we're working with her so she'll turn herself in.
It's a known fact that drugs and guns go hand in hand. I'm just curious, in this investigation, did you guys also take a lot of guns off the streets with these busts and raids?
Again, I'm going to refer to the indictment, but yes, there's always there's a lot of evidence that has been collected over the last 18 months to 2 years that will be presented at trial when that happens.
Are any of these suspects facing enhanced charges? Say, for instance, if they have been maybe linked to a fentanyl overdose or anything of that nature?
That'll all be part of the prosecution part, and unless you guys have something.
This may be a question for
One
Chief.
or two more.
This may be a question for Chief Smith, but I was wondering if you could maybe speak to the prevalence of drug issues in Brunswick, in this region, and how significant these arrests are going to be for this local community.
I think the arrests are going to be very significant for this area. We've been working the streets of Brunswick for some time now, and so we expect to see the results shown improving through this investigation.
Chief, I have a question for you. I know it's very rare that I get to come up to Brunswick to cover gun violence, but I know it happens just like it happens in Jacksonville. And I'm just wondering, with some of the stuff that you've seen, some of the investigations, the assaults, the gun violence here in Brunswick, is there any indication, or are you able to clarify if a certain percentage of that is tied directly to this drug activity?
At this time, I won't be clarifying those percentages. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Could I give you my email to get I didn't get a copy of the indictment, but
Thank you.
the FBI guy was telling me that you might be able to help me get it. Or you're the FBI.
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Thank you for watching A&F Plus. For more breaking news, live coverage, and your community stories, download the Atlanta News First app. You can also watch us on YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. To join the conversation on YouTube Live, visit our channel and hit subscribe. You can also listen to the Atlanta News First podcast by searching Atlanta News First on your preferred listening platform.